Thank you for visiting my channel. Before we start, please hit the subscribe, like, and share buttons to receive notification of future presentations. Our lesson for discussion is Right of First Refusal or ROFR. Definition and nature of ROFR. The right of first refusal is a contractual right that allows a person or entity, usually a tenant, co-owner, or business partner known as the holder, to be given the first opportunity to buy or lease a specific property or asset before the owner can sell or lease it to a third party. If the owner receives an offer from a third party, the owner must first offer the asset to the ROFR holder under the same terms and conditions. If the holder of the ROFR declines, the owner is free to sell or lease it to another party under the same terms. This right is not an obligation to sell on the part of the owner, nor does it give the ROFR holder ownership rights. It is merely a preferential right that comes into play if and when the owner decides to sell. Parties to an ROFR. 1. The grantor or owner. He decides if and when to sell his property. 2. The holder or beneficiary. He has the priority right to purchase the property under the same terms. And 3. The third-party buyer. He may purchase only if the holder waives or fails to exercise the ROFR over the same property. The grantor is the party who owns the property or asset and agrees to grant another person the first chance to buy it if he decides to sell. For example, a landlord who promises the tenant the first chance to buy the leased property, or a shareholder who agrees not to sell the shares to outsiders without first offering them to co-shareholders. The holder is the party in whose favor the ROFR is granted. They do not have a right to compel the sale, but if the owner decides to sell, they must be given the opportunity to buy first under the same terms offered to or by a third party. Examples: a tenant is given the ROFR in the lease contract, or an existing shareholder given the ROFR to maintain proportional ownership. The third-party buyer or the prospective purchaser is not an original party to the contract, but they are affected by the ROFR because 1. They can only validly purchase if the holder first waives or fails to exercise the ROFR, and 2. If the owner bypasses the holder and sells directly to a third party, the sale may be rescissible. Must a right of first refusal be in writing to be valid? Article 1356 of the New Civil Code provides that a contract is valid in any form unless a specific form is required by law. This means an ROFR can be oral or unwritten, but is more enforceable if in writing, as it is typically a clause within a larger agreement, such as a lease, shareholder agreement, or business contract. For an ROFR to be legally enforceable, it must be in writing if it involves the following. 1. Real property. Under the Statute of Frauds, under Article 1403 of the Civil Code, agreements related to sale of real estate or any interest therein or lease for more than a year must be in writing to be enforceable. 2. Corporate shares. If a shareholder agreement grants an ROFR, it must be documented in writing and ideally recorded in the corporate books. And 3. Contracts beyond 1 year. Any ROFR that applies to transactions lasting more than 1 year should be in writing. What are the common uses of ROFR? First, real estate. Tenants may have the first right to buy a leased property. Second, corporate settings. Shareholders may have ROFR before shares are sold to outsiders. Third is business partnerships. Co-owners of business can prevent external parties from acquiring ownership interests. And fourth, family ownerships. Ensures property or business interests remain within the family. Essential elements of ROFR. 1. Identification of parties. Identify who holds the right and who is obligated to offer the asset. 2. Triggering events. This pertains to the moment when the ROFR becomes enforceable, like when the owner decides to sell or lease the asset or upon receipt of a third-party offer. 3. Matching terms. The ROFR holder must be given the opportunity to buy or lease under the same conditions as a third-party offer. 4. Time frame. The holder has a set period to accept or decline the offer. 5. Transferability. Some ROFR agreements allow assignment to another party. And 6. Scope and limitations. This refers to the asset that is covered, whether it includes partial or full interest, like real estate, shares in company, etc. Suppose the grantee or holder fails to exercise the ROFR. In one case, the Supreme Court held that only after the grantee fails to exercise its right of first priority under the same terms and conditions within the period agreed upon could the grantor validly offer to sell the property to a third person under the same terms as offered to the grantee. What are the consequences for violation of the ROFR? 1. A sale made in violation of a right of first refusal is valid but rescissible and may be the subject of an action for specific performance. 2. However, before the sale to the third person may be rescinded, he must have been actually or constructively aware of the right of first refusal at the time he bought it. And 3. The sanction for the enforcement of the right of first refusal against third persons is based on Article 19 of the new Civil Code, as no real right was created on the property. Legal basis of ROFR. There is no single all-encompassing law that explicitly grants a right of first refusal or ROFR, but its enforceability is generally based on contract law principles under the Civil Code of the Philippines and in jurisprudence. It is recognized as a valid contractual stipulation that limits the grantor's freedom to sell by requiring him to first offer the property to the holder. Here are key legal bases. Based on the Civil Code of the Philippines, Article 1306 says, the contracting parties may establish such stipulations, clauses, terms, and conditions as they may deem convenient, provided they are not contrary to law, morals, good customs, public order, or public policy. ROFR is recognized as a valid stipulation under the principle of freedom to contract. Article 1318 governs the essential requisites of a valid contract, which includes ROFR agreements. Article 1319 says that consent is manifested by the meeting of the offer and the acceptance upon the thing and the cause. In ROFR, consent ripens into a contract only when the owner decides to sell and the holder accepts under the agreed conditions. Article 1479, second paragraph states, an accepted unilateral promise to buy or to sell a determinate thing for a price certain is binding upon the promisor if the promise is supported by a consideration distinct from the price. The second legal basis of ROFR are decided cases, some of which are enumerated hereunder. Thank you. If you find this presentation helpful, please subscribe to receive notification of future lectures.